opposite ends of the same coin come to Corpus Christi, Texas, as one Knoxville, the reigning champs, have their sights set at the top of the table, but enter in rare territory, coming fresh off a loss. As Corpus Christi are trusting the process, it will need to look towards it to earn their first win in their first League One season. The USL League One on ESPN Plus is presented by Pregame. Hello, welcome, I'm Ryan Lee. Thank you for joining us. It might be the debut season for the Sharks, but they dealt with One Knox back in March. Despite a dominating effort by One Knox, James Talbot held off all 6 shots on target from 19 shot attempts, resulting in a scoreless draw. A match that left Knoxville head coach Ian Fuller feeling disappointed, stating that they weren't at their best. Despite having those results early on, they've rebounded very nicely. And in the grand scheme of 2026, they've been amongst the best. Only 2 points behind Union Omaha in the opening 12 weeks. But on the opposite end of the coin, Corpus Christi are still the only team looking for that elusive first win in League One. Eamon Zayed said it's about the process, and these ugly starts can result in successful run as the season goes along. And they are doing great things in the grand scheme of things. Top 5 in big chances, but also in big chances missed, signifying that they're right on the cusp with each passing game. Although the fruits of labor have yet to be harvested, with the fewest goals with 7 goals in 8 matches, their opportunity is there, noting that it's not about the immediate results, but how things can pan out down the line. And one of the opportunities that they have is the entry of Alexis Cerritos back in the lineup. He scored the equalizer against Fort Wayne to tie that game at 1-1 to steal a point on the road for the Sharks. And for Cerritos, the League One veteran, he's been all over. But that goal against Fort Wayne was his 20th in USL League One. He is 1 away from 25 across all competitions. But for Ian Fuller, he's been able to make the most of these expansion teams since coming in as head coach a year ago. Undefeated across 12 matches, including 7 wins. 15 goals scored and 6 against shows how he's been able to essentially sweep every single team that comes in fresh in USL League One. For Coach Fuller, it's about the culture and the command that he has over his roster, but also the overall balance between the offense and the defense, which leads with Johan Garibay, leading the league in saves and clean sheets. For Garibay, he's been behind the bench for the last 2 years, backing up 2-time goalkeeper of the year in Sean Lewis, a man that Coach Fuller said had starting potential last year, and it's finally a time for him to get his opportunity to start between the pipes. For the champs, they have to show that they are still number 1 if they can get the 3 points today. As for Corpus Christi, a chance to get their first set of 3 in 2026. Lineups and kickoff are next.
Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures. Listen to Mom.
I love that they always have openings. They're always, available. You can come in usually the same day. So I'm glad that they have that. And like I said, the location's great. So it's convenient. I like that.
Open till 9 p.m. weekdays and 7 p.m. weekends. We are a pediatric primary care and urgent care facility for children. Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures.
Corpus Christi has brought professional soccer to the Coastal Bend. A team you can be proud of, rally around, and celebrate with. Come see the goal celebrations, the passion, and the high intensity.
Line out front, hammered from the spot, and the save again by Talbot. Strikes, what a goal!
For 18 high-energy home matches, come show the nation Corpus Christi has the best fans. Tickets are on sale now for every match at corpuscfc.com.
Tonight's match is presented by Pedicare. Feeling under the weather? Pedicare is Corpus Christi's trusted home for pediatric and urgent care. Visit Pedicare at Yorktown and Cimarron Boulevard. Corpus Christi looking for their first win as One Knox look for the #1 overall slot as Corpus Christi make 4 changes from the last match versus Fort Wayne, including Cerritos getting the start after equalizing against Fort Wayne, his 20th goal in League One. 3 of the 4 midfielders include ex-NOCO players, including Jackson Dietrich coming back from suspension. As for One Knox, 3 changes are made as Zarakostas is second in chances created, especially for an offense that's only produced 1 goal in the last 2 games. And for Johan Garibay, he leads the league in clean sheets and in saves, 5-2-2 across 9 matches in 2026. We get ready to go here in Corpus Christi, Texas, where for the Sharks, it is an opportunity to get their first set of 3 points in 2026. Marking the longest win drought for any expansion club in their inaugural games. No wins in their first 8 regular season games, which is a League One record long. As for One Knoxville, they have a chance at the top of the table where they have a chance to repeat winning the double last year as the regular season and playoff champs when it's all said and done. As we get started here in Corpus Christi, where the Sharks are going right to left in the all blue, and in the white and orange will be One Knox going left to right. Ryan Lee and our entire ESPN Plus crew, we thank you for joining us here in Corpus Christi, where it has been most certainly 2 opposite ends of the coin meeting here at Corpus Christi Stadium. One Knoxville 2 points behind Union Omaha for the top of the table, where Knoxville looked to return after having that finish a year ago. Not only winning the title when it was all said and done, but also the Players' Shield as the regular season champions. As for Corpus Christi, currently tailing the standings at the moment because they are the only team left in USL League One yet to earn a win, but they are only 3 points behind a couple of teams with 7 points apiece, as Corpus Christi do have those 4 draws so far. You have the Cosmos, the Triumph, and the Paradise all with 7 points. Corpus Christi come in with 4. Up the center for Kwakwa, looking deep, Blake Bowen might be alone, gives it a go, and the kick is off the upright. Despite being on a football field, not quite the post you want to find the ball through, but at the very least, an early opportunity for Blake Bowen, the 3rd round draft pick, formerly of Seattle Sounders, where he was brought into the pro ranks from San Diego State with Tacoma Defiance and the Seattle Sounders organization. As this will be the first opportunity to talk about Johan Garibay, the 26-year-old from Gonzaga. Has started all the regular season matches, 5-2-2 so far in USL League One 2026. He is 1 win away from double digits, 9-2-8 across 19 starts. As One Knox ready to receive the ball once again. Jordan Skelton. Headed down by Krachenkov. Couldn't keep it in as Rodriguez coughs it up, but Knoxville are back on. A field here at Corpus Christi Sports Complex that pretty much every coach talking to is one of the smallest pitches as Zarakostas takes a tumble. Rittendale with some contact, playing in his 50th pro match between League One and his time in MLS Next Pro, where he was with Huntsville City in 2024, starting off the pro ranks in 2023 with the RGV Toros of the championship, as Zarakostas might have taken a little more than just getting the wind knocked out of him with that contact. Especially for a guy like Zarakostas, much needed in Ian Fuller's roster, top 4 in assists last year, and you can just see the contact just right on the tailbone, but at the very least, he is up on his feet. Some of the notable changes in the roster, especially for Corpus Christi. Boo Boo Medina is out because he did take that second yellow card against Fort Wayne, so he will be out due to a red card suspension. And on the other end of things, they get Jackson Dietrich back in the lineup because his return from suspension as Cerritos tightropes the corner. Rittendale had contact from Murphy as he goes to ground. You can already see some of the physicality coming in, especially from One Knox. A large part of their identity and style is their ability to get scrappy, get physical, go body to body, but also have the quality and the actual soccer of it all to follow suit, something Ayman Zayed made very well noted in our interview with him in the midweek. Although not much familiarity with Ian Fuller aside from the one game, considering that right as Zayed and Northern Colorado Hailstorm made their exit in 2024, that was the offseason that Ian Fuller made his entry into One Knox. Coach Zayed did mention a lot of things he wanted to change about his philosophy in his year-long hiatus from coaching USL League One. He started off jokingly saying that at the very least, I'm calmer considering how many times he would get carded from the bench or even sent off at his time during the Hailstorm, but even just noting how his change in overall philosophy in terms of how he wants to approach the game and especially the season-long process, that immediate gratification from his time at NOCO, just focusing on how to get the 3 points in the next game and the one after that. Not focusing on how to build something sustainable in the long term, just focusing on the here and now, resulted in a lot of turnover, but also a lot of talent. As for this Corpus Christi unit, very much wanting to build on the team aspect of things, noticing some of the other top teams from around USL and soccer, sometimes having those tough starts can result in greater fruits of labor down the road. And that is something that he'll have to bank on for a team that's 0-4-4 in their opening 8. At center, with Jackson Dietrich returning from red card suspension. Outward, Rittendale. Bowen. Andrew Booth looks for options. He has it wide. And Shannon Gomez will retreat back. A little bit of physicality will hold up play from our officiating crew. They'll be in red today. Denny Kulasinak with Logan Reeves, Nicholas Lopez, and Albert Marino as our crew this evening. Gouling. Caputo splits it. Christi. A slightly revamped defensive unit for Ian Fuller, inserting Christi in the left back slot. 2 years with NYCFC, where he had 50 total matches. Has it alongside with Bradilio Rodriguez, also formerly of NYCFC, a 2023 second-round draft pick. We can often see them two combine on that far side, but instead, up the gut, Rodriguez. Aiming for Zaracostas, interrupted by Rittendale. And unlike the first 3 minutes of the game, this time Zaracostas draws the contact to Jackson Dietrich. It's about what you expect from late May in Texas, 79 degrees, not a lot of humidity in the air or wind. Hot in the air, not as hot as the start of Logan Erb in his first 2 games. Only 1 goal allowed across each of his first 2 matches. Made his debut professionally in the Brinks Tires USL Cup against FC Tulsa, where he didn't allow a goal until beyond the 80th minute. And even only allowed the singular goal against Fort Wayne last time out. So you can at the very least give him that, coming in from Houston Dynamo Dos. And this will be an opportunity for Rittendale and Bowen as we have our first potentially dangerous free kick powered by Driscoll Children's Hospital. Together we heal. About 36 yards away from goal. Yet for a shot attempt in this match, 10 minutes in. Bowen curls it, tapped in, but just too far. Andrew Booth got a clip, but missed the post. But a great attempt from the former FIU Panther. Bowen, he's really been one of the key catalysts of this offense. So versatile, especially on the outside. At times during his stint in Huntsville, he was actually playing in the back in one of those wing-back slots, but today he starts as one of 2 forwards in the 4-4-2 for Ayman Zayed. As this will halt play. Don't miss a moment of the inaugural season in Corpus Christi, as tickets are on sale now for all Corpus Christi FC matches. Buy yours today at corpuschristifc.com or call 361-225-3316. Tiao couldn't find the centering feed. Caputo receives it. Second time these two have played. First time was back in March. A scoreless draw that was at Covenant Health Park. These two will come back here in about 7 weeks' time. However, it'll be a bit of a different scenario because that will be in the USL Cup on 7-11, perhaps with Slurpees on hand. What a strip. Rodriguez has Krachenkov and Zaracostas. Grappled, Rodriguez still on his feet, leading for Zaracostas, and a great save by Erb. It'll draw a corner for Knoxville. Confidence from Bradilio Rodriguez. Only 2 goal contributions in his time in the regular season. And you have the combination of Erb and Rittendale to force the stop on Zaracostas. Only a singular assist in 2026 that came back in March the 7th. But a guy who can seriously cause all sorts of havoc. 19 chances created is good for a second in USL League One. Jaheim Brown on the toss. High arch in the mix. No one can claim it. Caputo with a try, and that is well high. Tune in to CBS SN May 16th for round 2 of Prince Tire's USL Group 6 action. That was a spot where Logan Erb really made his name well known in the USL circles, considering his efforts against FC Tulsa, against the USL Championship side, only allowing the singular goal in the waning minutes of regulation. A spot that has also seen some of the interchange between the USL Championship and League One. When Knox had their respective struggles against San Antonio, where that one goal came in the fleeting minutes of the first half. That game ended 1-0 in favor of the USL Championship side, San Antonio. Contact outside the area. Kurchenkov got hooked on the way down. They want to make an argument, but Danny Kolasenak, no hesitation there. This will be a very short free kick, powered by Driscoll Children's Hospital. About 4 yards outside of the 18. Gouling and Kurchenkov. It is Kurchenkov going low, off the wall, out of play. You have to appreciate some of the gumption of a guy like Denis Kurchenkov. 5 goals, tied for the league lead, trying to claim sole possession as you had Booth and Dietrich barricading, and this allows Gouling to occupy the corner flag. Gouling into the mix, still loose, couldn't get through. That was Sam Roscoe with the final touch, but it will stay with Knoxville. Knoxville side where Ian Fuller really emphasized the need to learn, especially in those tough losses, a situation that they almost never are in. This is the first time that they have lost back-to-back games in the Ian Fuller era of One Knox. Trying to avoid back-to-back losses in League One action since June of 2024. As Corpus Christi look to extinguish the League One record longest winless drought to begin an inaugural season. As that gets rolled towards goal, Knoxville want to call, no whistle blown. For Corpus Christi, only 3 games on the road. They do sit 0-1-1 when they have been here at Corpus Christi Sports Complex. But also part of that just sheerly due to lack of sample size. They had a 3-1 loss when Charlotte Independence came to town, and they did get a scoreless draw and a point out of Spokane Velocity, last year's finalists, losing 2-1 Knox as Jaheim Brown heads it up and out play. Corner kicks for Corpus Christi, brought to you by Corpus Christi Athletic Club. Live happy. Blake Bowen to serve. Headed in, swatted down, Zarkostas to clear. He'll walk it out instead, then finally sends it down to center. So Shannon Gomez will halt progress. Spent the last 3 years with San Antonio, the team that took down Knoxville in their last game. When you feel hunger strike, there's only one cure, and that's to eat more chicken. As a yellow card came out late. Yellow card came out at the very end of that sequence. Have some arguments from John Murphy as Jack Keeney will enter the book. Seemed to be on part of the delaying of the restarts. But in quick succession, Corpus Christi will take it right back on the throw. So speaking of Jack Keeney, he takes a yellow card, but also will take this lengthy throw. 270 total professional matches dating all the way back to 2018 when he was in Ireland. Spent last season in the top division of Northern Ireland. Tossed in, headed down by Goulding. Rebound try through the crowd and out from Garibay. This forces a second Corpus Christi corner in short succession as Garibay continues to lead the league in saves. This was a nice chance. Goulding with a header, went outside the box, but a nice sweep by Andrew Booth at the top of the area to sweep it through as we have another Corpus Christi corner kick from Corpus Christi Athletic Club. This time is Rittendale. Swung in, back to the middle, and away. Corpus Christi taking swings. Knoxville want Booth offside. Slammed across, punched out by Garibay. Rebound, ricochets, Kwakwa couldn't get through. And whistle will favor One Knox. When you feel hunger strike, there's only one cure, and that's to eat more chicken. Visit one of 9 Chick-fil-A locations throughout the Coastal Bend today to try the latest menu item, Jalapeno Ranch Club. Download the Chick-fil-A app to start earning rewards for every purchase made. Wasn't a whole lot in the first 10 minutes, but things have really built up to 7 total shot attempts, including 1 on frame for both sides. But still nothing on the board as we're closing in on the halfway mark of the first half. Knoxville trying to use this opportunity, especially because of just the overall expectation they had winning the double last year, something that Ian Fuller mentioned was part of his promises to ownership if he did end up getting the job here, which he ended up fulfilling to the highest extent, getting the double when it was all said and done, especially for how difficult it can be for the players to live up to the expectation as well. And things have taken a couple of road bumps early, but everything that Coach Fuller mentioned were relatively in the works. It's all very fixable. And sometimes that's really all I can ask for as your head coach. Can you learn from your mistakes? Can you adapt to them? Can you get better from them? Last time out in the regular season for Knoxville was 10 days ago in a midweek match back in Knoxville, where they did drop the result against Union Omaha from an 84th minute goal that was allowed. Especially for a result overall disappointing to Ian Fuller. Just talking about trying to be on it, staying sharp, especially with how tough teams are, like a Union Omaha, a team like San Antonio of the championship. How if you're not on your P's and Q's the entire way through, they can make you pay, and do so in a flash. Like in that game-winning goal for One Knox came on a counter. Rodriguez outside the area, circles back. Rodriguez centers, no one on the receiving end. That was wide of Krachenkov and Guling. A potential response from Jackson Dietrich. Kwakwa. And Skelton will eat the yellow card to prevent the progress. You just gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, especially for Jordan Skelton. Currently in the longest stop of his career, 87 matches played across 4 seasons with One Knox. And not just doing so, but doing so with probably the highest respect in all of USL League One, being the Defender of the Year in 2025. To the area, back post, and they score! But it is going to be a whistle against Corpus Christi for a push-off. Contact in the area, there is no goal. It will not stand, much to the ire of the Corpus Christi faithful. Just when it looked like Patty Langlois had his 10th pro career goal, they say there was contact in the area. You had Tiao, you had McRobb in the region, but instead it's a free kick to Johan Garibay. Enter the Brinks Tires USL Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code and enter today. Still back and forth and cagey, especially for the overall respect that Eamon Zayat has for this squad, considering what they've done. Actually told us a very interesting story when we did talk to him about how he's probably watched more USL League One in that one off year in 2025 than he did at any other point, just because of the time allotted. As another yellow card comes up, that's the 3rd in under half an hour. It was someone on the respective staffs. Mentioned in the open, this is something that Eamon Zayat has been trapped into at times. If you know Zayat's history back in his time with Northern Colorado Hailstorm, he is not shy to get a yellow card or a red card off the bench. But also part of his focus in that year off is just trying to be a calmer presence on the bench. Maybe having a little more composure than he did in years past, but that could just come with 2 years worth of life experience, to say the least, and having a year being away from the pro game. Calling it an awful experience. Corpus Christi will cough it up back to Knoxville. They're unbeaten in their 4 games on the road, 3 wins and a draw. As Gouling cannot link up with Zarkostas, Dietrich sweeps it away. Skelton has to be careful. He's already on a yellow card. Hustling back, Finn McRobb. He also has 50 pro matches under his belt ever since he left High Point University for the Scottish defender under the tutelage of Ian Fuller. Spent the last 2 years, 3rd different team, 3rd different league. 2024, his introduction to pro ranks with Minnesota United 2, went to USL Championship last year with Indy 11, and now to USL League One with One Knoxville. For both McRobb and Rittendale, it's their 50th matches as we are still scoreless at the half-an-hour mark. Ryan Lee and our entire ESPN Plus crew in Corpus Christi Sports Complex in the Lone Star State. Bowen Rainbows, Kwa to the hands of Garibay. Tune in to CBS SN Saturday, May 30th for a USL Championship battle at the top of the Eastern Conference. Reigning Players Shield winners, Louisville City FC host undefeated Tampa Bay Rowdies, 7 p.m. Eastern. Catch all the action, CBS SN on May 30th. What a story it's been for the Tampa Bay Rowdies and their cast of characters. A pseudo League One All-Stars, if you will, with what Dominic Cashel has been able to do over there. And for the Owls and the Parliament, they're good to know that even though Coach Cashel went to greener pastures, green and golden pastures, if you would, they are still the team to chase. One Knoxville in second on the table, only 2 Union Omaha who are at the top going into the evening. Tossed in for Cerritos. Contact from Brown, free kick, Corpus Christi. Cerritos, a veteran forward in this roster despite only being 25. Did spend last year with AV Alta in their inaugural squad, his 2nd straight year with an expansion side, as he just takes a whack at the side of the leg. It is Bowen with a free kick from Driscoll Children's Hospital. Bowen to the middle, headed up by Skelton. Another try in the mixer. Roscoe couldn't get there, off the official. This will be a dead ball spot. Boo Medina out for Corpus Christi, serving red card suspension after taking 2 yellows against Fort Wayne. Pearson Fuso out, he's in concussion protocol, took a knock to the head against Fort Wayne also. It's Kwa from range and off the bar! Easily the most dangerous attempt for the Sharks in this match so far. As this is a much different script than the first time these two played. What a rip from Enoch Kwa, trying to catch Garibay off, almost had him beat, but echoes the iron instead to the result of a Corpus Christi dead ball spot. You're looking at 26 yards on that kick. And what a strike it was had that one gone under. Keeney throws back in, caught by Garibay. Garibay back between the pipes. As we have contact and a man down. Might have been some incidental head contact perhaps. If there is blood drawn by Thomas Rittendale. All this happened completely away from the play. One of the multiple notes made by Ayman Zayed. How much physicality mixed with quality is going to be a part of the formula for today's game. And also how, since his departure, or rather Northern Colorado just no longer existing in USL League One, how the disparity of teams just feels so much closer than when he was last in the league, especially because at the time there were only 12 teams in the mix. Now you have 5 more from when he left. So therefore you have this cause and effect where you have other teams, you have the top players more spread out, but also more younger players able to come up and make the most out of their opportunities. And that's where you get guys like Thomas Rittendale coming into play at 24, and even some of the other competitions such as the USL Cup, providing that League One has not just been able to evolve within itself, but also in respect to the USL as a whole. And especially when you have more guys trying to fight for their chance, it results in greater competition as a whole. For the current head coach of Corpus Christi, 90 matches previously in USL League One, as Rittendale gets some attendance on the sideline, so it will be temporarily 11v10 favoring Knoxville. Already a much different script than the first time these two played. Corpus Christi have the slight shot edge, 5-4, compared to the first time these two played. There's a disparity of 19-4 favoring Knoxville in shot attempts alone. So our Kostas leads the way as Jaheim Brown couldn't get it through for Krichenkov. Bowen gets pressured into a one Knox throw as Rittendale gets back into the game. And like I mentioned before, Blake Bowen has previously played in fullback slots before, so he was filling in for the moment. Booth, Langwall. Kwakwa forward towards Rittendale. As Gouling got the shirt yanked on the way, and it'll be the result of a yellow card to Jackson Dietrich, who, mind you, just came back from red card suspension. Took a red card against Charlotte, unable to play against Fort Wayne, back in business today. And then gets the booking in the 39th. Just on the way down. That's going to turn into a stretched out shirt by the time Dietrich finally let go. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Gouling off the toss, harassed again, just got the shirt yanked by Dietrich and had Kwakwa draped all over him. Gainbridge had to be careful with Cerritos charging in. And Rittendale will take the toss with the nose plug in. It was a very simple message for the Sharks. No fear in their play, and to scrape by either with a win or points in today's match would require most likely their performance of the year. It'll be a bumpy ride, and there must be no passengers. So far they've held on strong. 5 minutes in the first half. Still zeros on the board, but not without effort, especially for Corpus Christi, who are at the moment out shooting one Knoxville. Despite one Knox out possessing. Probably one of the more surprising parts of the early portion of this game is how much some of the big dogs, especially for one Knox, have been straight up non-factors in this game. Only 2 shot attempts, one from Stavros Zarakostas, and the other one from the wingback, Christi. Only the 1 attempt for Denis Krachenkov, nothing from Gouling. As Rittendale looks to spark for Corpus Christi. Bowen, edge of the box. Hesitates, second try, and scores! Blake Bowen gets the first goal for the first time this year, and Corpus Christi lead. For the first time in 2026, Corpus Christi will score the opening goal. What a way to split the D with Brown and Zarakostas. Lets that one fly just inside of the right post as the league's lowest scoring offense gets on the board first against one of the top 5 defenses. Still aiming for win number 1, as that is the first goal of the game, brought to you by Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, proudly caring for the next generation. Second goal of the season for Blake Bowen. He is one of only 2 players on the entire roster with multiple goals across the entire season so far. The other being the suspended Bubu Medina. But Blake Bowen leading the way, gets the start on the attack. And his now 3 goals in all competitions in 2026 is a career high for the 25-year-old. These late half issues have continued to pile up for one Knox, even in the last 2 games specifically. However, across those last 2, those goals would end up being game winners. 45 plus 4 given up to San Antonio, and in the 84th given up to Union Omaha. So their end of half problems have continued to persist for Knoxville. Like Coach Zayat said, it would require their best performance of the year to get a point or even a win against the squad. But Bradilio Rodriguez looks to start as he continues to gallop up the gut. Splits it, Gouling centers back. Second try is through the wrong set of posts. Nice attempt up the gut for Bradilio Rodriguez to lay it off to Gouling. You could have argued there was a chance to give it a go on the left foot, but instead lays it back to Murphy, who skies it. Although we are in a football field, that's not the set of posts you're looking for today's game, at least. Still making the most despite having less possession are Corpus Christi. You did have the one goal that was disallowed due to a foul. However, that one from Bowen will stand with the assist from Thomas Rittendale for his first goal contribution in 2026. 2 assists in his previous stops with RGV in Huntsville. None in League One. That is Rittendale's first goal contribution in USL League One across 2 seasons. 3 extra minutes on the board between the Sharks and One Knox. You have to really give it to Corpus Christi, especially for the pedigree of this One Knox side, especially on their defensive side. And what Johan Garibay has done, because his 4 clean sheets do lead the league. At the very least, that will be halted for the time being. But Garibay perhaps still trying to wash away that 84th minute game winner given up to the Owls last time out, that he was in between the pipes. Considering how Jonathan Burke started in goal against San Antonio, in the Prince Tires USL Cup. Mason Erb, not a whole lot of effort so far in his end. 2 shots on target, which matches what Johan Garibay has faced, but those came very early in the game and hasn't really come since, give or take, the half-an-hour mark. Through 2 of 3, Corpus Christi retain. Kwakwa. Stripped near midfield for Caputo. Rodriguez outside the boot, just wide of Kurchenkov, who, for lack of a better term, has been a spectator in this game so far. Just the 1 attempt off the free kick, nothing more. Dietrich. Couldn't get through Caputo. Potentially one last push for Christi and One Knox to, if they want to go for it, attempt to tie before the end of the half, as they are in the final minutes of the first half. Murphy. Rodriguez. And that'll do it for the first half. For the first time in 2026, Corpus Christi have taken the 1-0 lead, and that's where we sit through 45. It's also the first time that they've scored the opening goal, the first time they've led at halftime so far. And also for One Knox, this is the first time they've conceded the first goal in regular season play. But that's where we stand through 45 minutes. Corpus Christi 1, One Knoxville 0. What a fun one it's been in Texas, as the Sharks are on the hunt for their first win in USL League One. They have the lead by 1 through 45 minutes. More from the USL and League One when we come back.
Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, creando futuros saludables. Nuestros pediatras certificados y el personal clínico brindan atención médica excepcional a los niños desde su nacimiento hasta la adolescencia, porque su salud es nuestra prioridad. Abierto hasta las 9 de la noche de lunes a viernes y hasta las 7 los fines de semana. Somos un centro pediátrico de atención primaria y de urgencias para niños. Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, cuidando un futuro saludable.
Corpus Christi has brought professional soccer to the Coastal Bend. A team you can be proud of, rally around, and celebrate with. Come see the goal celebrations, the passion, and the high intensity.
Line out front, hammered from the spot, and the save again by Talbot. Strikes. What a goal!
For 18 high-energy home matches, come show the nation Corpus Christi has the best fans. Tickets are on sale now for every match at corpuscfc.com.
Returning to Corpus Christi, Texas, where Corpus Christi FC lead 1-0, looking for win number 1 against 1 Knoxville SC. As we are in week 12 of USL League One action, we take a look back at the last time we were in regular season play, with Matt Bentley of the Chattanooga Red Wolves being the player of the week. 4 goal contributions, including a hat trick in a 4-1 win against Sarasota Paradise. But that was a little while ago. That was actually back on May the 9th. He was only part of the Week 10 Team of the Week. We are in Week 11, but no one on at least these 2 teams were featured in the Week 10 Team of the Week. Part of that was just due to some of the losses that 1 Knox took and Corpus Christi. But that's been a lot going on in USL League One. We take a look from not just the world of USL, but the world of soccer as a whole, as we take a look with the big tournament coming up in a month's time. More from Corpus Christi after this.
Before the World Cup can begin, 48 national teams need a home. And home is a lot more than a practice field.
They wanted a beautiful grass field and in a sort of secure facility with great access to gyms and all the other pieces around.
Dan Rutstein had the honor of handing the keys to Orange County SC's entire facility to the U.S. men's national team. Why does it matter to you to have the U.S. national team at your facility?
Look, if you can't get excited about a World Cup, then we shouldn't be in this business. It's obviously an enormous opportunity. We're happy for them, it's a great facility. We're happy for us, we're happy for our fans, so we can be talked about in the same breath as the home nation in a home World Cup.
Orange County is joined by the Oakland Roots, who will host the Australian national team, and the Tampa Bay Rowdies hosting first-time World Cup team Cape Verde. When clubs spend multiple weeks in one building, the facility must accommodate an entire support system, not just the players. In a large country like the United States, travel can take a toll. Cape Verde's Tampa home sets up short flights to Atlanta, Miami, and Houston for its group matches. Australia will play matches in Vancouver, Seattle, and nearby Santa Clara. The U.S. team's longest journey is Seattle, sandwiched between 2 group matches in Los Angeles. But as the World Cup takes place, it's business as usual for the USL Championship. For Orange County, a worthwhile temporary adjustment.
We're still training next door. The short-term pain of being not allowed to use our stadium for the medium and long-term gain of working with the US national team, we could never say no to an opportunity like that.
USL All Access returns this week. We'll break down the USL Brinks Tires Cup. 42 teams remain, but who's really got a shot at the final 8 coveted spots? We'll talk the Tampa Bay Rowdies' historic-ish start, still unbeaten through 8 games, the return of US Open Cup, and the best matches to watch this weekend.
Distance, shot once more, and score!
Now and then, you need to stop and smell the roses, or the leaves, rocks, trees, sticks, and that one tree again.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
You ever just look at them and think, yeah, I'm doing all right.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
I truly give everything that I can for them.
It's like, all right, we're in this and we're gonna go for it.
Esto es la porra, this is who we are.
Everybody here doing the heartbeat, having everybody in the stadium do that was just chills.
Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, creando futuros saludables. Nuestros pediatras certificados y el personal clínico brindan atención médica excepcional a los niños desde su nacimiento hasta la adolescencia, porque su salud es nuestra prioridad. Abierto hasta las 9 de la noche de lunes a viernes y hasta las 7 los fines de semana. Somos un centro pediátrico de atención primaria y de urgencias para niños. Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, cuidando un futuro saludable.
Returning to Corpus Christi Sports Complex, where it's been a more than eventful 45 minutes here in Texas. As we mentioned, event-filled. Well, let's go over those events as we go through the first 45 minutes between Corpus Christi FC and One Knoxville. A lot of opportunities for both teams. As we mentioned, it's been a lot of back and forth, and they've been having to force Johan Garibay to really make some saves, as they do have the 2 shots attempted. This was the goal that was disallowed because of a foul inside of the area. You can see that it was Jackson Dietrich away from the play. He took down 2 One Knox defenders. You have this try from, at minimum, 25 yards deep for Enoch Kwakwa. Second try in the measurement closer to 26 or 27. That went off on the crossbar, smack dab and out. Thomas Rittendale would combine with Blake Bowen, and this was the first straw that would break. Splitting through with Brown and Zarkostas in the region, just curling it inside of the right side post. Rittendale and Blake Bowen, 2 former standouts previously of Huntsville City. I believe never intersected each other, but they do, although they do have that talent and ability to threaten, and they did, to get the opening goal of the game, the lone goal of the game through 45 minutes of play. We have more from the USL as halftime continues in Corpus Christi. Don't go anywhere.
It is halftime in League One. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with some of the League One headlines. Aside from a very busy USL Cup weekend, there were some league matches, and Union Omaha pulled off a big win on the road against One Knoxville. Sergio Ors Navarro's 84th minute goal was the difference in the 2-1 final. That's the second home loss of the season for One Knox and vaults Omaha to the top of the League One table. 3 League One clubs scored regulation victories over USL Championship clubs in round 2 of the Prinks Tires USL Cup. Portland Hearts of Pine defeated Rhode Island 2-1. AC Boise rallied to beat Monterey Bay 4-3. And Spokane Velocity scored early in a 1-0 win over Las Vegas Lights. And 2 more League One clubs, FC Naples and Charlotte Independence, won penalty kick shootouts against championship teams. Congratulations to Corpus Christi veteran player Kristen Cheney for making his 50th career goal contribution in Week 11. His assist against Charlotte Independence gives him 12 assists to go with 38 goals in 111 career matches. Upcoming national spotlight games in the championship on CBS Sports Network. Sporting Jacks in San Antonio next Wednesday. Then a big one between Louisville City and Tampa Bay Rowdies on the 30th. And another tough test for the Rowdies against Charleston Battery on June 10th. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures. Listen to Mom.
I love that they always have openings. They're always, available. You can come in usually the same day. So I'm glad that they have that. And like I said, the location's great. So it's convenient. I like that.
Open till 9 p.m. weekdays and 7 p.m. weekends. We are a pediatric primary care and urgent care facility for children. Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures.
Corpus Christi has brought professional soccer to the Coastal Bend. A team you can be proud of, rally around, and celebrate with. Come see the goal celebrations, the passion, and the high intensity.
Line out front, hammered from the spot, and the save again by Talbot. Strikes, what a goal!
For 18 high-energy home matches, come show the nation Corpus Christi has the best fans. Tickets are on sale now for every match at corpuscfc.com.
In Corpus Christi, where the sun is setting, but potentially things are rising for Corpus Christi. As we took a look at halftime highlights, let's take a look at the numbers through 45 minutes of play. Like we mentioned before, Knoxville does have the greater the possession, but it is Corpus Christi who are making the most of their offensive opportunities, considering how they just have that extra shot attempt, that extra shot on target, which you could argue is the result of the 1-0 lead as it stands right now, as we're ready to get back in business. We do have a change made by Ayman Zayed at the halftime. It will be Nacha Abayal coming in for Jackson Dietrich. Keep in mind that Dietrich does have 1 of 4 yellow cards taken in the first half. As we are back in Corpus Christi Sports Complex. One Knox in the white and orange, right to left, they will go for the second half. All blue for Corpus Christi, left to right, they will go, maintaining their 1-0 advantage over the reigning champs, as the Sharks have their eyes set on the elusive first win of 2026. Ryan Lee and the rest of our ESPN Plus crew, thank you for joining us here in Corpus Christi, Texas. where it is match week 11 in USL League One, and this has been a tale throughout the entire game of these plays away from the ball, drawing contact. You've seen it on both sides. You've seen Knoxville players go down, Corpus Christi players going down. Physicality was a key to the game, also a large part of the One Knox identity. But especially in these late game situations, Corpus Christi just trying to make sure they maintain their overall togetherness throughout the remainder of the match, even going down to 10 men against Fort Wayne due to the double yellow by Buba Medina, who is suspended for today's game. Just trying to continue the fight as a unit, defending as a group, attacking as a group, pressing, shifting, everything else of the sort. As long as it's as a unit and not disjointed, that allowed Corpus Christi to take a point on the road last time out against Fort Wayne, their fellow inaugural brethren, but have their eyes set on their first win against the reigning champs. At the very least, Knoxville want to hold par, as that is a ball as Gouling took the aggressive kick. And that is a straight red card. That is a straight red card. You could see it from a mile away. Rittendale is down once again. We are only 2.5 minutes into the second half. Rittendale has already been, well, it's not Rittendale, pardon, that is Sam Roscoe. You could very well see the elevated leg spikes up from Mikkel Gouling, as if the climb towards the top of the table wasn't hard enough. How about you add an extra layer of difficulty to the match? Go down 11 v 10 if you're One Knox. First red card of the season. Well, it is a hot day in Corpus Christi at 78 degrees, and things have most certainly heated up here in the second half. You already had a near combined 30 fouls in the opening half of play, and then you add a Knoxville red card into the mix. It is Mikkel Gouling. The first time he's been sent off in his short 2-year stint in USL League One. You can very clearly see it. High leg, spikes up. No doubt about it. A very easy decision for our officials in red, Danny Kolasenek, Logan Reeves, Nicholas Lopez, Albert Marino. They wanted to, at the very least, keep par with Union Omaha, who are up 1-0 against the Chattanooga Red Wolves. They wanted their chance at the top of the table. They would have had to match a similar result, or at the very least, with a 2-point disparity going into today, at least get a draw to make it a one-game gap, pardon. But the climb gets ever so steeper. Less than 5 minutes into the half. Rittendale, Roscoe have all taken their respective knocks. For Korchenkov gets around the defender. Korchenkov might be alone, but a stop by Herb. The ability to succeed in their battles all over the pitch has been a huge part of Corpus Christi's game that has yet to be occupied. But with the 1-0 lead, with a chance to take over with a man up, they might have a chance here. Bowen centers and stopped by Gainbridge as he turns off Abial. That actually didn't even hit Gainbridge. That just missed him by a bit, but his presence was enough to force it out of the way. Nacho Abial fresh off the bench. The 25-year-old Spaniard in his rookie season. Spent 5 years in the NCAA with 3 different programs. Started off his college career with Jefferson College back in 2021, the NJCAA. Then went up to Division I with SIU Edwardsville in 2022, stayed there for 3 years before going to the Tar Heels of UNC in 2025. And actually played with Corpus Christi's League Two teams in between his college seasons. Korchenkov gets his try blocked. Dennis Korchenkov off the turnover, through one man, but not the other. That was Roscoe. Good to see him up and at it after taking that brutal kick from Mikhail Goling that gets him sent off. Corpus Christi still looking for their first win. They do have one in their pocket. That was just shy of a month ago against the Chattanooga Red Wolves in the opening round of USL Cup play. But still have yet to find that elusive first win in the regular season. Meanwhile, One Knox have not had back-to-back losses in the Ian Fuller era. And they also haven't had back-to-back losses in regular season play since 2024. A near exact 2 years ago, considering how we're only a month away from the start of June. Rodriguez couldn't split Keeney and Roscoe, but stays in the attacking half. Pressure from Abial. Rodriguez, slam down. Shannon Gomez, yellow card. You can very clearly see the attempt made on Bradilio Rodriguez from Gomez. Lots of experience for the former Trinidad and Tobago international. Last got called up for the 2024 CONCACAF Nations League. Deep ball aimed towards Zarkostas, mopped away by Rittendale, but only to a road bump at the least. Minutes into the second half. Only the red card to Mikhail Goling. Brown to the box. First header's up, second one's loose, and they score! Down one man, it doesn't matter. One Knox responds. This game is tied at 1. What a response from One Knox, taking it from the dead ball. There was the loose ball in front that looked like it was last tapped in by Bradilio Rodriguez as the Portuguese midfielder gets it in. 2 goals in the Open Cup, and now his second in the regular season for the midfielder from Brazil, Bradilio Rodriguez. And just like that, right after the red card, this game has new life. Spent the last 2 years in the USL Championship with Lexington. Has not scored in the regular season since his first goal in USL League One. That was back on April against Sarasota. Does Corpus Christi have a counter punch to respond once more? It's a game of firsts for One Knox. The first time they conceded the first goal, their first red card, but also they get their first to tie things up at 1. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL. From grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. And it will be Tiao on the toss. Coach Ayman Zayed, his long history in USL League One, both as a player and as a coach, including the first 2 seasons in USL League One, when the league was introduced back in 2019, when he was with the Chattanooga Red Wolves for the final 2 years of his playing days before heading to the head coaching role in 2022, where he started things off with the Hailstorm, before they eventually no longer became a part of USL League One and takes the reins for another expansion side on his second head coaching gig. Cerritos cuts it down. Gomez to center. And it's coughed up to Krachenkov. 1-on-3, goes for goal, and that might just be to buy Knoxville some breathing room. Tiao away from the danger that was Andrew Booth, as Rodriguez eats contact once more. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. And he might be on his phone buying the tickets for the next game, considering how well Corpus Christi's performed in this one. I wouldn't blame him either. Sometimes you just gotta ride the vibe of the game, and that has been the case. It was 1-0 after the half, and Knoxville responded 10 minutes into the second half from Rodilio Rodriguez off of the toss-in. Another deep ball as Bowen was the target. Cerritos is the one who forces Caputo to ground. Abel Caputo and Alexis Cerritos, former Lexington teammates, in their inaugural season when they were actually spending their first 2 years in USL League One before it became a championship side in 2025. Both Cerritos and Caputo were part of that 24 Lexington roster, which was their last in USL League One, before jumping up a division. And that could be something we see more of down the line with Pro Rel along the horizon. Don't miss a moment of the inaugural season in Corpus Christi, as tickets are on sale now for all Corpus Christi FC matches. Buy yours today at corpuscfc.com or call 361-255-3316. And you saw the gentleman earlier on his phone. Maybe he was dialing the number, for all we know. Looking up the middle for Korchenkov. Back for Corpus Christi. And partially interrupted for the time being by Jaheim Brown. Corpus Christi getting the opening goal. Blake Bowen from Tomas Rittendale. That was back in the 42nd minute, which actually ended a streak of 238 straight road minutes without a goal allowed. As it's the edge of the box, kept in, across. Abel's attempt kept in play by Bowen, but not in the area for much longer. It does remain with Corpus Christi, however, as the Sharks smell blood in the water. Already having done so once. Can they do it again with a man up? The fight and togetherness was a missing ingredient for Coach Zayed's units. Wanting to see the work rate and battle that his teams embodied when he was with the Hailstorm in Northern Colorado for 3 seasons. Centering, Abidal couldn't get it through as Booth took a clip. But a good opportunity and at least a nice attempt by Nacho Abelal. Knoxville have been a team that have been exceptional in the opening quarter hour or so of each half. Having done so 10 minutes in, Bradilio Rodriguez that tied it. 4 goals scored by One Knox in the opening 15 minutes of the second half, more than any other team in USL League One. You hear about these types of theories, perhaps the opening minutes of a half and the closing minutes of a half, how important just those segments are. As play is whistled down offside. And we even have a change coming up. The 2 forwards will be in exchange for one another, with Denis Korchenkov hitting the bench in favor of Babacar Dieng. A threat, a true one, a dangerous one, Pregame and Zayed. Coach Fuller calling Dieng and Korchenkov a real yin and yang, especially with the veteran presence of a guy like Dieng, how he can build his way closer to goal versus a guy like Korchenkov who will shoot it from anywhere, and he's most certainly done that at times, as Dieng, fresh off, first touch. So our Costas can't control, but return to Knoxville. Shoved off the ball, back for the Sharks. Garibay forcing the issue. He has to hustle back to his line, considering that Corpus Christi has seen one of those bangers from way outside. Bowen, Rittendale to the outside, back in, Cerritos twirls, stopped by Garibay, rebound off the line, and it doesn't matter, it's whistled down. But another exceptional attempt by Corpus Christi. As the Sharks continue to lurk. The great attempt by Cerritos. It was pushed away by Garibay. The extra attempt could not be converted by Rittendale nor Cerritos. And it's back to the 26-year-old Johan Garibay. And you take the script from the first half where it was Knoxville controlling possession, but Corpus Christi controlling offense, and things have relatively flipped despite being a man up Corpus Christi. They had 40% of possession in the first half, 55 so far in the second half, but Knoxville have controlled since the break offensively, as Corpus Christi did to open up the game. Bowen, the foot race by Brown, knocks it away successfully. Murphy wanted offsides. Kwakwa fights back with Murphy. However, Kwakwa successfully gets the steal. Enoch Kwakwa centers. Cerritos fumbled, couldn't get it, but it's still in play, so it's back for the Sharks. Chomping at the bit, Rittendale. Up top, Bowen. Murphy clears. Begin your path to the pros with the Corpus Christi FC Academy. Kids ages 5 to 18 can start building their technical soccer skills, work with a team, and compete with the best in the States. Head to ccfcacademy.com to register for the upcoming season. Corpus Christi won Knoxville, 1-1 apiece. 42nd minute from Blake Bowen. 55th minute from Bradilio Rodriguez, as Rittendale, who got the assist on the Bowen goal, sends it to Bowen. Brown forcing the issue. Corpus Christi still on. Booth leading the way. Back to the middle, settle down. Bowen gets another! It's 2 for number 2, Blake Bowen, with back-to-back goals for Corpus Christi. 2-1. What a try from Blake Bowen, as that's another goal from Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, proudly caring for the next generation. And Blake Bowen gets it off as Skelton was unable to clear. Bowen just takes the touch right off of Skelton's foot. And a 50-50 ball inside of the penalty area. Bowen with a second, as Corpus Christi retake the lead, a man up. Two changes are being made by One Knoxville. You saw Murphy come out. His spot will be occupied by Teddy Baker. And the other sub will be Kyle Linares. As Linares takes the spot of Zarakostas. In a brand new game once again, right after the goal. Coach Fuller pulls the trigger. Teddy Baker's second year in League One. Last year with Texoma after his time being a Division II All-American with Lake Erie College. And Kyle Linares, his first season in USL League One, after going to, at the very least, the USL ecosystem, being on loan with San Antonio last year from Portland Timbers. Stavros Zarkostas is the replacement, as the training room is the physical therapy and performance partner of Corpus Christi FC. They provide the resources and experienced staff to improve performance, prevent injuries, and get athletes match ready. Visit the training room at one of their 3 locations. So that is 3 changes deep for Ian Fuller. Coach Zayed only the one to start the half. This is the first game where Corpus Christi has multiple goals since match week 1. Do they have a third? It's headed away. Enoch Kwak keeps it down. It was the inaugural match of Corpus Christi's USL League One tenure. March 14th in a 2-2 draw against FC Naples. It's the first game of the year and their latest that they've scored multiple goals. And what a way it could be if they could get their first regular season win against the reigning champs. Blake Bowen with the second, credited at the 69th minute. And a nice one at that as he's threatening for a hat trick, but only a threat at most. Teddy Baker fresh on. Linares the chase, but Erb fumbled, taken by Linares. Erb hasn't gone back yet. Baker had blue jerseys in the way. Back for Linares. Erb is back in his net. Linares sends it across. Unable to receive was Rodriguez. As Tiao just got shoved off the ball and taken the other way. Nacho Abeal, the barrage of Baker, and gets shoved down for a foul. As we have another injury on the far side getting looked at near that 25-yard line. Great to see the growing Corpus Christi faithful. And not only is that the first time that a player has, first time that there's been a brace in the USL League One history, as we mentioned earlier, their first multi-goal game since match week 1. As we have 15 minutes here to go on our USL League One and ESPN Plus broadcast between Corpus Christi and One Knoxville. The rest of the USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. And that is Tomas Rittendale again, who has just been getting all sorts of nicks and bangs. He played the end of the first half with a nose plug in his mouth. And just for precautionary reasons, most likely because of how much attention Rittendale's been getting from the training staff, Jake Keegan is standing on the sideline, and now the change is official. Only the second change made by Eamon Zayed in the final 15. But most certainly a veteran presence, a familiar one also. If you want to take note of the guys currently on the field, and even the ones who played today, that is 4 different no-co players, ex-no-co players who have taken the field at some point today. Enoch Kwakwa, Petty Langlois, Jackson Dietrich, and now Jake Keegan, who is in the top 5 in career League One goals. Recently scored his 100th at the end of March. Now his 6th different USL League One team, including being with One Knox from the first 2 seasons, 23 and 24. Tiao bodied off by Abeal. Dislodged, and will send it to the sideline. Baker. Down the middle, Linares leaves it for Tien. Knoxville looking to get the equalizer once again, but too far for Jaheim Brown. Goal kick, Logan Erb. Whether you're looking to get in shape, recover, or stay active, the Corpus Christi Athletic Club has everything you need, from fitness classics to aquatics to cryotherapy. The Athletic Club is where you can find it all. Visit them on Holly Road or CorpusChristiAthleticClub.com to get your membership today. Corpus Christi Athletic Club, live happy. The 48th minute red card for Mikael Guling, a large turning point in this game. It did allow One Knox to equalize things at 1-1 shortly after, about 7 minutes to be precise, in the 55th, from Bradilio Rodriguez for his 2nd goal. But just shy of 10 minutes ago, it was Blake Bowen with his 2nd, the first brace in Corpus Christi League One history, and the first multi-goal game since match week 1. Cerritos could not control as he was late to take on Baker. And this will be slowly handled by Logan Erb, who was a part of the NC State Wolfpack squad that made it all the way to the NCAA final a year ago. Not even a year ago, actually. It was about 6 months ago. But he holds on in the final dozen. Corpus Christi looking to snap the League One record for the longest winless run to start an expansion season. Last year's Texoma squad went 7 winless to start their inaugural campaign. North Carolina also had 7. As Tiao takes contact in the box, whistle comes against Knoxville, and it's a Tiao yellow card. I don't want to assume anything, but the only guess that you can make is simulation. And if that is the case, we'll get the report in a little bit. It is a gentle fall. You could make the argument, a little bit of contact from Nacho Abeal. But Tiao is going to get the yellow either way. This is the USL. VAR does not come into effect, and the word of Denny Kolasinak is final. And according to the scorekeepers, they did mark that Tiao for simulation, potentially trying to earn a penalty to force Knoxville back into a position in this game as Cerritos settles it down off of Skelton. Contact between Skelton and Cerritos will go against Corpus Christi this time. Jordan Skelton and Alexis Cerritos, 2 veterans within this league. crossing of the legs, and even a little bit of contact on the mid-fall from Cerritos. Cerritos been pro since he joined Loudoun back in 2019 for Jordan Skelton. He was with Tormenta in that opening year too, the same amount of time in the pro ranks. eFootball is here, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. DN, jump ball, goes again. Still up for grabs. Booth pushes it forward. Kwakwa out of range for Abayal. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XMFC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XMFC 157 in the Sirius XM app. And if any indication is coming from the sideline, we might be seeing the first appearance from Nico Rosamilia as he stands alongside the fourth official, Albert Marino. But Baker keeps it in play. Return pass from Linares. Rodriguez couldn't retrieve. Cut down by Caputo. Still Knoxville in the middle and swept too high by DN. What a try from the team leading goal scorer from a year ago with double-digit goals in 2025, Babacar Dieng. And there'll be a double change here for Ian Fuller in the final 10 minutes. So 2 changes made. Danny Fernandez will come in, the 29-year-old from Spain. And then the first time this season, the entry of Nico Rosamilia, the USL League One Finals MVP, where he scored the opening goal of that match. That was our last DN attempt. Rosamilia was a bit of a question mark. This is his first time traveling with the team all season long. And considering his impact in that League One final, the last time that Rosamilia was on the field, it could be instrumental. Rosamilia almost had it. Almost bodied off Bowen. But it comes back to One Knox. Finn McRobb. And that's a fly ball for Logan Erb. Trying to take out Tiao's yellow card, and Caputo's just been dinged up all game long. In that change for Fernandez and Rosamilia. Bradillo Rodriguez, he scored the opening goal for Knoxville. Does he have another? Wanted to lead it for Rosamilia. Headed down. Out of range for Rosamilia. McRobb flies in. Taken out, Abayal. Return pass from Cerritos. Might have a charge here, 1-on-2. And he is interrupted by Teddy Baker. Next time up for One Knox, it'll be back home against Greenville Triumph, where they'll play their next 3 back at Covenant Health Park, but they will have to play that Greenville game without the services of Mikel Goli. Which is part of 3 straight at home for One Knox. Centering. Kwakwa got it back for Keegan. Rob steps up. Final 5 minutes in regulation prior to stoppage. Fernandez, Rosamilia chested down. DN had contact, took contact, and cleared out by Corpus Christi. The Sharks seemingly hanging on to dear life for what could be their first win of the year to snap the League One record for longest winless drought to enter USL League One as expansion team. Rodriguez, DN on the ball, back for Rodriguez. Might have had a yank of the jersey, but nonetheless, it's Logan Erb to cover. At the very least, Logan Erb is consistent. So far, 3 starts, 5 minutes away from 3 complete starts. And so far, 3 goals allowed. One final replacement coming from Ayman Zayed. Only using up 3 of his subs so far, but it is a chance for Tomas Pandeka, the MLS Next Pro champion, formerly of North Texas, the FC Dallas affiliate, will come into the match for Cerritos. Going forward for midfielder, trying to maybe bolster things up in the back, knowing the push that Knoxville are about to make. Baker flies it. And caught by Erb. More physicality on the pitch. As Ayman Zayed put it, they were gonna be in a fight for a team that can bully you in One Knox. They have tried to make their mark. Nearly 40 combined fouls between these two, and 7 total yellow cards to this point, including the red. As it stands, Blake Bowen with the game winner in the first brace in Corpus Christi League One history, and the first multi-goal game since match week 1. Keegan Holtz restarts, centers, Pandeka too hard. Loose ball. Poked out by Keeney before it reaches Dien. Keegan trying to keep it on the front half of the pitch. Cannot imagine Corpus Christi being in any sort of rush to get this throw-in off. And this could be a huge momentum driver for the Sharks if they can keep up. If they can win today, it would put them at dead 500 at home, 1-1-1, which could generate something considering they have 4 of their next 5 at home. And those are 4 straight home games after they go to Fort Madison. They do have a road game in Birmingham, but that will be in the Prinks Tires USL Cup, and that's a whole different story. The only other time in this season that Corpus Christi got the first goal was their 1-0 win against Chattanooga in the opening round of the USL Cup. It was actually One Knox's next opponent in that tournament. Cut down, Rodriguez, off a body, Baker retreats. Especially for a One Knox side that have played so many competitions between the USL Cup and the Open Cup. Their 15 matches played is the most in League One. Coach Fuller mentioned maybe the details aren't necessarily there. They just haven't had as much time to train because they spent so much time playing. And some of that might be catching up to them if they are unable to potentially equalize with all the injuries, the red card, and everything in between. Stoppage time is expected to be lengthy. Baker back in, not there. 6 minutes added on. Back to Knoxville on the throw. Shark Tank trying to make some noise as Jaheim Brown takes the toss. Brown off his hand straight to Erbs. Leading the way for Jake Keegan, slipping it through. Pondeka might be one-on-one. Pondeka full steam ahead, but he slithers that one way wide as Abeal tries to keep it in play and does. And regains possession in the process. What a potential story this could be for Corpus Christi. Who better a potential opponent to get your first win against if they hold on for the next 4.5. And the miscue with Baker and McRobb will give Corpus Christi their first corner since the first half, as the corners are brought to you by Corpus Christi Athletic Club. Live happy. The Shark Tank starting to flood. Only the third corner of the match, the first in the half for either squad. Foul against Knoxville. This will be a free kick, so it will be powered by Driscoll Children's Hospital, but they'll just go short and maintain possession. This is some. Those were some really good sequences if you're Eamon Zaya, the way that they managed that, sticking to the corner. Forcing pressure to draw another corner after the throw in, and then the ensuing free kick afterward. And now they'll win it back after the errant kick by Johan Gerbe. It could be the first time in the Ian Fuller era that they have lost back-to-back. They technically did so against Omaha and San Antonio, but in regular season play, it would be the first time since June 2024. Only 3 times since they joined League One have Knoxville dropped back-to-back games. Very unfamiliar territory for One Knox. But Danny Fernandez looking for the final counterpunch. Linares gets dropped, no whistle, Corpus Christi throw. You can see Linares' frustration, but it's back in play as it's poked down by Pondeka. Tien got the header, may have gotten grappled in the process, but nonetheless smothered by Logan Erb, who has really, most likely, made this net his own. Starting off with James Talbot to open up the year with the first 5 games. Mason McCready had the 3 after across all competitions, getting the first win in team history in the Prinks Tires USL Cup. McCready started that game, but in regular season play, if Logan Erb holds on for another 90 seconds, he could secure the first victory in League One history for Corpus Christi. Bradilio Rodriguez, end-to-end, caught by Erb, took contact, to a goal kick. Final minute of regulation. Logan Erb, the goal kick. Deanne settles. Rodriguez, full steam ahead. takes it off the defender. First corner of the second half for 1 Knox. 3 aside. Likely the final hope for this game for 1 Knox to at least reclaim some points and spoil the celebration in Corpus Christi. Wind whipping to the near side, and we saw that take its effect on some of the throw-ins earlier, but it's Baker. Sends it, headed, off the hands and in! The celebration spoiled as Baker bangs it home! 1 Knox bites back, and we're tied at 2! The first miscue of the game by Logan Erb could not come at a worse time. Teddy Baker with an Olympico goal through the hands of Erb. His first mistake drops what was likely the first win in Corpus Christi history. And 1 Knox at the end bring the bite to take a point on the road. And it's heartbreak in the heart of Texas as this game ends tied at 2. We wrap things up in Corpus Christi. A heartbreaker in the heart of Texas. We wrap up in Corpus Christi when we come back.
Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures. Listen to Mom.
I love that they always have openings. They're always, available. You can come in usually the same day. So I'm glad that they have that. And like I said, the location's great. So it's convenient. I like that.
Open till 9 p.m. weekdays and 7 p.m. weekends. We are a pediatric primary care and urgent care facility for children. Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures.
Corpus Christi has brought professional soccer to the Coastal Bend. A team you can be proud of, rally around, and celebrate with. Come see the goal celebrations, the passion, and the high intensity.
Line out front, hammered from the spot, and the save again by Talbot. Strikes, what a goal!
For 18 high-energy home matches, come show the nation Corpus Christi has the best fans. Tickets are on sale now for every match at corpuscfc.com.
A 1 Knox takeover in Texas as the hopes of Corpus Christi's first win crash at the death. And it feels like death in Corpus Christi Sports Complex. It ends at 2, but most certainly the saddest single point in Corpus Christi history. It starts off early, just shy of halftime in the 42nd minute. A great individual effort by Blake Bowen. Sneaks it in after the feed from Tomas Rittendale. Nose plug and all. Able to split the 2D in front. You had Brown and Zarkostas. Nice slip move by Blake Bowen to get that one through for the first time in USL League One. Corpus Christi get their opening goal, and this was the jump ball. It was very easily the foot of Mikel Goling meeting the heart of Sam Roscoe, which led to the red card, but 1 Knox will not stop the fight. Basilio Rodriguez on the ricochet gets it in as Logan Erb goes for the dive. That one ties things up at 1, but a bit of a misplay here. You have the scramble play. It was Jordan Skelton aiming to get it out, but coincidentally, Blake Bowen gets the touch for the first brace in Corpus Christi history in the first ever season. Also the first 2-goal game that Corpus Christi has scored since match week 1. This was the heartbreaker. Teddy Baker, the service on the corner, the final second of the game. They have changed this to credit this as a Logan Erb own goal. So possibly this was going to go post and out if that one flew through. But through the hands of Erb, redirected back into the net to tie this game at 2 and to tear the hearts in Texas. What a game this was. Ends at 2-all. And you could not ask for a better result if you are Corpus Christi, despite falling short. But One Knox got it done at the end of the day, matching stats throughout. 9 shots, 5 on target, and 2 goals is where we end throughout 90 minutes here at Corpus Christi Sports Complex. Well, what a way to end this game. Eventful, all things considered. Everything could ask for. A red card, goals all around, and a game winner to end it all, or game equalizer rather. It's tied at 2 in Texas between Corpus Christi and One Knox. For our entire USL League One and ESPN Plus crew, my name is Ryan Lee. Have a great rest of your night.
Transmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.